All right, guys, check this out. This is totally nuts. Yeah. Hey, guys, this is John. Welcome back to the channel. Today, actually, it's tomorrow. We are going to Auburn, Indiana, and we're just getting ready for that. Auburn, Indiana is the home of the Duesenberg or Auburn Cord Museum. And beautiful cars there. I'll show a few of those in the video. Not a lot. This is a bike channel. But they're having a bike show there. It's called the, was it Classic Bicycles Auburn? It's the second time they've done it. The last time was 2022. And I'm just excited to go. I'm going to be showing 4 bikes there, and if you paid any attention to the channel, you know what they are. But you'll see me load them on the roof. You'll see me bring them into the show. They're going to be judged. I probably won't win anything. I don't think I have, show bikes. They're not like perfect enough, if you will. But it's just going to be fun anyways. And don't expect to win anything. So it should be a good time. All right, let's get these bikes up on the roof. It is Thursday night before the show, and normally on Thursday nights I'm at the Mill Race Cyclery training ride, and I'm kind of glad I'm not going. I mean, so we're ready to go. We got ourselves the Condor, the Schwinn Paramount from '84, the Jack Taylor Custom Tourer, and the Bianchi Specialissima. I just like saying it. And yeah, we're gonna roll this back into the garage, and so early in the morning, we can pull it right out and be ready to go. All right, it is Friday morning. We are on the way to the garage. I have a frame in tow. We'll talk more about that later, the mystery frame. And yeah, we'll be there in a second. All right, we're ready to go. Oh, the bikes are looking extra pretty this morning. Finally settled into the hotel room, and you can see I'm not alone. I brought guests, and the best kind. All right, let's get some chow and get to the show. Oh, look at that. Old building, pretty cool. Looks like we're here, I think. Old cars and bike racks. Oh, that's pretty cool. Well, I did arrive late. I came in the middle of a seminar with David Beck, who talked about the history of the Campanile dropout and rear derailleurs. When I arrived, I was sitting next to Jeffrey Bach, professional frame builder for many years. He was looking over my Marinoni Team AMF bike to possibly restore it. After that, we heard from Rich Gangle. He's a professional frame builder for many years who recreated every bike that Eddie Merckx ever ridden on for every team. It's a wonderful story. You'll hear more about that later. After geeking out on some bikes, we went to dinner. It was a great time with Tim Potter and frame builders Jeffrey Bach and Doug Faddick, hearing their stories of old.
And then he looked down, the bottom rack, and then he looked at me and he says, like, now I have to start doing that.
And of course, we all hung out. We had Phil, Tim, Marcus, Brian, and Russ and Brad. What a great time it was talking with everybody. Well, the night wasn't over. We had an impromptu bike swap in one of the hotel rooms. A lot of cool stuff, a lot of fun people to talk with, and it was just a fun night. And even Tim Potter decided to bring his entire library of books to sell. So it was a great time. Well, now it's Saturday. We just got done with a 20-mile ride. Rode with a bunch of guys from the show. What a lot of fun that was. Got to ride with some notable folks that I really enjoy being with. So that was a good time. So we're going to head back to the Cord Museum, and we're going to see some seminars and have a little bit of fun. Now, my favorite session of all was on Saturday. They took 5 frame builders. They put them up on the stage. These are all guys that have been building since the 70s or 80s, all very professional, all well known, and it was so exciting to hear from them. I learned a lot, and it was quite entertaining. A Up on stage, you had Mike Cohn, our event organizer, frame builder Paul Lemire. Saw some of his work, it's gorgeous. Mark Nobilette, his work was there as well. Jeffrey Bach is becoming a friend, and I think he's going to build me a bike. Doug Faddick, well-known frame builder in the area, as well as Rich Gangle, that you're going to hear a lot more from later. Last but not least, you have Alex Enid. He's planning on building a website that will document and celebrate the uniqueness of all the American frame builders and put it all on one site. I don't know about you, but walking through the museum while it's closed is pretty darn cool. We're closing the place up. Well, guys, it's Sunday. It's the day of the show, and I am beat. I've been getting about 5 hours of sleep a night. I'm going to enjoy this thing, but I'm also going to enjoy the drive home. It's been a long weekend, so I'm here with my friend Brian.
Morning, everybody.
Are you ready for the show?
It's been a great weekend. If people haven't thought of this before, I would absolutely go if you're into vintage bikes.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and there's a lot of cool bikes. A lot of cool people. I met so many this weekend. Thanks so much if you're one of them that came up and introduced themselves. I appreciate you. Anyways, we're going to have a little bit of breakfast, and off to the show we go. Everybody's in the parking lot getting their bikes ready for the show. It is Sunday. We are at the show. A lot of great bikes here. You got to check this out. We're going to go through a bunch of them. Not all of them, but we're going to point out some bikes and hopefully talk to their owners as well. Damn you. Guys, I got a really rare bike here. We have a Motobecane team, champion team in orange. I've seen one before in really rough shape, but this one's gorgeous. We also have the owner, Philip. Tell us about your bike.
So we determined it's a 1976, even though the rear derailleur was a 75 and the crank was a 74, but in that era, Motobecane only made about 200 of these, so the parts were sitting in a bin, so you can't go buy the parts because it's campy. And then this is to U.S. factory spec. These were imported, and the U.S. ones had, this is a Cetus Oro chain, not a Regina. It is a Regina Extra Oro 1321 cassette, or freewheel, not cassette, freewheel. One thing that's unique that everybody would argue with on this bike, instead of a campy outer cable derailleur housing, the factory showed a black one.
Interesting.
So this has got the black just like the factory spec and the pictures of a factory bike. This bike unique, it's campy, but it's French threaded. So you got a French threaded headset that's campy and a French threaded bottom bracket that's campy as well.
Sure. Well, I know they did make those components with French threading for sure.
Yes. So on top of that, it's a French bike with Italian parts, which is rare. It has French threads, which makes it even more rare and even more difficult to find parts for.
Well, tell you what, Philip, I have not seen many of these. I've seen one beat up in the city of Chicago at a used bicycle store, and that's it, at least in person. I did see a couple online. And you probably have the best example that I've seen by far. So, hey, thanks so much for showing me the bike.
Thank you.
Now, here's another thing you don't see every day. They think this might be like an experimental bike or a show bike. Sun Rencho Aero. Totally cool. Check out those bars. And of course, you know, the obvious things such as the Aero head tube and so, the fastback stays. Yeah, just gorgeous. Of course, you got the AX-EX mix, which actually, you know, if you think they had an Aero Team Miata for a while. It was very similar. Another Japanese bike. But yeah, beautiful bike from 1982. Guys, I did a YouTube short on this bike yesterday. It says Joe Routins. He's going to give you the correct pronunciation of it. It's a French bike. I just happen to have the owner of the bike here, and he's going to tell us all about it. Gary, tell me about your bike.
Yeah, hi. It's a 1967 Joe Routins or Joe Routins.
Routins.
It's got some proprietary Joe Routins features. The stem is Joe Routins. The proprietary front derailleur. It's got modified Hure Lux rear derailleur, modified for a single loop cable. It's got Joe Routins carriers, front and back. These aluminum toolkits, aluminum panniers.
Wow, that's so cool.
These can be removed. I have canvas bags that fit on there also, like in their place.
Oh, I gotcha.
So it's got the reverse placement, Mafac centerpole brakes.
Right.
The cable runs through the seat tube, so it's a shorty seat post. Seat post can't go lower than this point here.
Oh, that makes total sense.
But that's all you need. You only need that much inserted.
Right.
So, ideal aluminum rail saddle.
Oh, no kidding. Aluminum rails on that.
And a Mafac leather toolkit. It's kind of a rare item.
You know what, guys? I see these all the time, but they're not leather. They're that kind of, was it a plastic or something like that? Vinyl? Yeah, that definitely looks really cool.
I don't know. What else can I tell you?
Well, this bike is definitely best in show for me. I just love this thing. I was drilling on it yesterday. I did a YouTube short on it yesterday.
Right.
Tell me about the handlebar kit.
It's embossed leather. I bought it, cut it out and sewed it on myself, so it's not original. It's a 1967, but
Of course.
I thought it was pretty cool.
But it's beautiful. It really is.
And the unique Joe Routins decolleur. You hang a handlebar bag from it. It's got a retaining, spring-loaded retaining device to keep the bag from sliding off.
Sure. Wow.
And what else? These brake boosters with the hole in it.
Oh, I
there,
see.
Front and rear.
That keeps the flexing, I assume, down.
Supposedly.
Supposedly. I think it would.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it
Reduces the squeal a bit.
Well, the bike is outstanding. I really appreciate you taking the time.
No worries.
And I don't know about you, but I'm going to grab some lunch.
Good idea.
All
Thanks,
right.
John.
Thank you. Did have a chance to take a short lunch and sit with Paul Lemire, frame builder, and got to learn about his bike building career. All right, guys, check this out. This is totally nuts. Yes, you're looking at that's gold-plated. Robert, tell me about your bike.
Well, it's a 2016 Colnago Arabesque, bought by a man in Melbourne, Australia, who had it. He brought in the old parts from his stash and ordered the frame from Colnago once they found the lugs, and we're remaking the Arabesque. And he had a person build it. The guy cleaned it up a little bit, built it. It sat. It got tarnished. We bought it. It got damaged in shipping, and I had to rebuild the entire thing. Every single piece has been cleaned, repacked. It wasn't intended to be ridden, but now it's quite rideable, and all the gears work. Everything's been rebuilt and greased. It's been about a 3-year project for me, maybe 3.5.
3 year, 3.5 year project.
3.5 years, and probably 1,000 hours.
Oh, I can believe it. That's just beautiful.
Yeah.
I've never seen a bike like this in my life, and I've seen thousands and thousands of bikes. And I've seen gold-plated stuff, and still not this dazzling. Wow, the rims, the nipples, everything. Look at that.
I would love to change the tires, but I'm not taking those tubulars off those rims. It's not going to happen.
That is just gorgeous.
There's space for 11 speed. It's 11-speed bike, 2x11.
Interesting. So you got a friction 2x11 system.
Yep.
And
the wheels. If I had some 7-speed wheels, I could go index if I wanted to.
Gotcha. Well, that is a dazzling bike. I really appreciate bringing it out and showing it to me. That's just nuts.
Thanks, man.
Now, Robbie just brought out an incredible bicycle. I've never seen this kind of work done on a bike. Some would say it's too blingy, but you know what, guys? You know me. I love the bling. This thing is nuts, and it's over the top. And I'll be honest with you, I love it. It won a couple of awards that night, and yeah, I'd ride it. Of course, I got my own bike here, the Jack Taylor. You've seen plenty on that. We have a Nobilette, and it's kind of cool. Mr. Nobilette's here today as well. It's kind of cool to see bikes that were built by a professional builder and also meet the builder himself. Vermont track. Oh my gosh. That's a Tom Ritchie track bike, boys and girls. How many of these are you going to see in your lifetime? That is crazy. A chrome Tom Ritchie track bike. Jim Redkay, look at that. Isaac. Teledyne Titan. Holy smokes. Of course, a Wizard. Jim owns this one as well. Very rare bike. And that's a rare sighting. That's a Tim Potter. we're dueling YouTubers. We're going at it.
Oh, yeah.
And you guys seen this bike on the channel, especially show at my show in February. It's the Regi, and just an amazing bike from 1980. That's the one with the really short wheelbase. Totally unique bike. We featured this bike earlier. This is my bike. You guys seen this several times. Actually, after seeing the bikes here, I learned that this bike is nothing special. A Mazzi, beautiful Cinelli from 1970. Yeah, check that out. Next bike is a 1967 Hutchins, one of my favorite brands. Why? Because I love the lugs. And I heard a term this weekend that's apropos. I guess I'm what they call a lug licker. In other words, we like our fancy lugs. Beautiful bicycle, of course, Campanile equipped, just gorgeous and in wonderful condition. Of course, it's got the swoopy stays. Look at how ornate that is. Just craziness, just beautiful. And I hope to have one day. I do have a Hutchins, but not a Magnum Opus. Next bike is a Colnago Arabesque in chrome. Beautiful bicycle. It's a 1986. It's got the 50th anniversary group on it. Just amazing looking. Love the anniversary group. Can't go wrong with that. But of course, the standard Arabesque lugs. Check out that pantograph stem. Let me focus in on that. There we go. Beautiful bicycle. Something you don't see every day. A galley group in awesome condition. Beautiful Colnago Master. Got your C-Record, your Deltas. Beautiful color. Pretty crazy. Got a Campanile toolkit for sale.
That's never built a frame, so it's in pretty good shape.
It's a Virgin. That's awesome. It's all kinds of cool stuff here.
Drilled these out himself. Got the down tube levers.
Oh, he does his
here.
own drilling, huh?
Does his own drilling. He's got a nice pair of Campy bar ends that he drilled out also.
Oh my goodness, check that out.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
it's pretty good handiwork.
Absolutely, no doubt.
depends. There's a couple of them. Yeah, so I mean, I'm 350. It's
How you doing?
Good, just bought that bike.
You did?
I did.
All right, guys, talking about nuts, check this out. This is a 1984 ACS, I think it's Magni? Well, I'll have the owner correct me. How do you pronounce that?
ICS for Italia Cicli Systems, Magni, Oro, exclusive. And the gold is pretty exquisite. It's 24 karat gold. They did a special run of parts, which they monogrammed with their name, ICS. Pedals have the same thing, seat posts. And this bike is special. They only made 4 of these. I got this from a guy in Australia. He had 3 of them, and I begged for it for 5 years. Finally said, okay. I got
And they did the plate, came plated like that.
Yeah, this is the way the bike as built from the factory.
Wow.
Original, everything here. And some interesting features. As elegant as it is, it had some engineering features on it that were very unique to this era. There's no binder bolt, so that's an expanding bolt. It goes like this.
So you got no binder bolt, you have an expanding bolt.
It expands down here. There's a sleeve that goes up here with a screw, and it expands down here to hold it in place.
That's totally crazy.
And it's built with a really short chainstay. So you can see where the tire comes in, barely enough for a sheet of paper.
Gotcha. Look at that. That barely fits in there.
Yep. Got rubber inserts.
Oh, that's unique. So your sweaty hands could shift.
Yeah.
I like that.
Chromo Velato finish.
What do you call that?
Chromo Velato.
Chromo Velato. Yeah, it
Chromo
looks like
Velato.
almost a...
It's back in the 80s that was really common. Willier and a few others did it. But I do occasionally ride the bike, and you can see where I've got the gold is starting to wear off a little bit.
Well, don't tell me that. I have to judge yours.
But no, it's
The gold is not wearing off. Here's the judge. The gold is not wearing off. Hey, thanks so much for showing the bike. This thing is gorgeous.
thank you. Appreciate your showing it to the world.
The bike's being judged as we speak. Now, coming soon, we're going to have an individual video featuring Rich Gangle and what it took to build this incredible collection of Eddie Merckx bicycles. You're going to be wowed at the level of detail he went to get them just perfect. We have an early 60s Joe Ratans. It got a sticker on the head tube. I just happen to have the owner of the bike here. This thing's totally cool. Hey, Paul, tell me about your bike.
This is a 650B camping bike. So it came to me with full canvas bags. Mike Cohn worked with the original owner of this bike years ago. And the guy who bought this bike, he ordered it special before these old French touring bikes, camping bikes were popular.
They call him that, or they call him a camping
It's
bike?
a camping bike. It's not a randonneur. It's a camping bike. Campur. Well,
Campur.
In U.S. I call it camping, but still, it's a very cool bike. The guy used it as a car essentially. So he put his cases of beer on the thing, and he basically rode with the handlebar bag all the time. It's the most famous bag, and he wore the thing out. So he worked in a bike shop. He used Schwinn lemon peeler yellow to repaint the bike because he wore through all the old thin.
That's what it looks like.
The racks, he wore the chrome off the racks. So he painted the racks flat black like Blackbird racks.
Right.
That was the cool thing of the day. It has all the original tape he used to use. He worked in a medical facility, used some medical tape to patch up the handlebar tape. And the bike is just an awesome ride. It has a very, very nice front derailleur, custom made by Joe Rotans, that just has no spring, just double cable action.
Tell me about the rear as well.
The rear is just, it's got
It's a dual pull as well, right?
A dual pull, so there's no spring action in that either. Really, I mean, this is just pulling the chain tension.
Can I move it?
Yeah, sure. So it's
it's pushing and it's pulling.
It's just like a helical thing, goes in and out.
Look at that, guys. That's so cool.
And it has this is like a a screen door spring kind of thing to just to
Right.
pull the arm to keep the chain tension.
That makes
A
sense.
pretty wide range, because when you load this thing up and go up a hill, you need some range.
Look at this, guys. This is just
It's
simplicity.
It's simplicity.
at its best. Absolutely.
And in the bag that I got with the bike, it had a spare cable, which these cables are kind of special. You know, there's like a little brass thing in here that goes, and then it's 2 long cables back. You're not going to find that in the bike store.
Right, right.
Came with the extra cable.
Well, this bike is just nuts. It's totally crazy. I love the bag. What do you call this?
Decalore.
Decalore.
And it had a safety pin, keeps the bag on there. I don't have the bag. I should have brought the
You know what?
bag.
Actually, I saw the one on the other bike. Actually, had the safety pin intact.
Video. Okay, he copied it from this.
He got. That's awesome. Well,
I know
thanks so
him too,
much.
Gary Delores.
Thanks so much for showing that to
You're
me. It's
welcome.
pretty cool. As you know, Jeffrey Bach's been building bikes since 1975. I have an early example here. Well, this is my new friend Russ. Russ, tell me about your bike.
This is a 1977-78 Jeffrey Bach. It's one of his first ones. Jeff started in '75, and it was built to specifications so that it was meant for criterium racing. So it's a racer's bike.
The steeper angles.
The angles are pretty standard. They're a 73.5, and then and the fork. But the tubing is basically track tubing on the chain stays and down tube, and then the C tube and the top tubes are a lighter road framing. So the idea was that it was good for sprinting and good for racing.
That's awesome. I appreciate that. Now, did you have this repainted?
By Jeff.
So Jeffrey painted.
This is the 4th paint job. The last paint job, which is what it's currently done, was done in '86.
Well, Russ, I appreciate you showing us the bike. The thing's a gem. How many miles you got on this beast?
A lot.
A lot. Okay, we're gonna put that on the odometer. A lot. Well, that bike is beautiful. Hey, thanks so much.
All right, thank you.
We have another beautiful bike by a notable builder. This is a J.P. Weigel, and just look at the quality of the lug work and paint here. Absolutely outstanding. Just gorgeous. Definitely got the 650 on there with cantilevers, Centaur, and Chorus. So a nice semi-modern Campanile drivetrain. Just a beautiful bicycle. Check this out too. The seat cluster is gorgeous, as well as where the cable exits in the back, so you don't have a hanger. It just comes right out of the frame. Just an outstanding bicycle, just beautiful. Where do you find a bike like this riding down the street? You just don't. Now, towards the end of the day, they had an awards ceremony. I was running out of battery, but I did catch some of it.
But the bike is really cool, and that's owned by Tim Potter. Tim, okay, so that bike was really cool.
Way to go,
First
Tim.
full production. Winner of that is a 1983 Bruce Gordon, owned by Wayne King. Yeah, where's Wayne? So then the next one we have up is 1980s original paint. And that is the 1984 Schwinn Paramount, owned by John Hess.
Oh, geez.
So, congratulations.
Thanks so much. I appreciate it.
Real time action, yes. It broke down
There we go.
categories by just, so for 1980s original multi-nation, kind of a composite nation category, that goes to the 1982 Free Rent Show Custom, owned by Brad Wagner.
Beautiful bike.
A 1972 Hitchens, owned by Bill Barnes.
Wow, beautiful bike.
From Denver. '80s.
Way to go. What do you got?
I got a piece of wood. Pretty fancy.
But Sun Ranch
This
Show,
was
right?
the Sun
for
Ranch
bikes from the 1970s. Collector of classic bicycle walker trophies.
That's the People's Choice
You
Award
can
on
thank
this
you
Joe
for
Rotan.
taking the trip down. Thank you for, I think you know a lot of stuff. Fantastic effort. really, the other thing too is, those bikes would be hard, individually if they were placed around the room. How do you even categorize that? Tashi's interesting. If you talk to him, he hasn't. I'm trying to resist the urge to commission a bike from Jeff that's painted in that color of blue.
Way to go.
You know, it's not like we're doing this in Chicago or Boston.
Well, guys,
New
it's the
York,
end of the show. It's
Philly,
huge weekend, long weekend, a lot of fun. It just summed up giveaway trophies. And man, some cool bikes. I can't believe I actually won one for my Schwinn Karma, the one I thought people would appreciate the least. But what an awesome show. I can't wait for the next one, I think in 2 years. What makes events like this special are the people that you meet. I met so many great people, and events like this just don't happen enough where you can get a community like this together. And I can't wait for the next one, without a doubt. People came far and wide from all over the country to come to this event. Some of these people I just knew from forums like Classic Rendezvous or bikeforums.net, and others I communicate with by email. So it was great to see everyone. I can't wait to see him again. And a special thanks to Mike Cohn, the gentleman that organized this whole event. Thanks so much. He's going to take this bicycle, it's AMF branded, if you will, Marinoni. And he's gonna fix it up for me. We're gonna find the right graphics. So hopefully that's gonna be really interesting. I talked to your decal gentleman, Gary. He said he'll work with me on that. So yeah. So I'm gonna do some research. He goes, the more you do, the better. I said, I'll do my best. So I can't wait to see this thing again. And I'm sure it's gonna look like a gem. Hey guys, I ran out of battery in the parking lot talking to Jeffrey Bach. So hey, we are back in the garage. Just what an awesome weekend. And thanks so much for joining me in this video. You're gonna see some new stuff coming out. You're gonna see a video on Jeffrey Bach and a bike that he built that was displayed there. You're gonna learn some history and see what he's up to now. Number two, you're gonna see a video that involves Rich Gangle. Now, hopefully I'm saying the name right. I just don't wanna botch it, I probably did. Anyways, we're gonna talk about those bikes he built. All those, it's a recreation of every team bike that Eddie Merckx rode. And the cool thing is, they're in his frame size, and not Eddie's size, Rich's size. And some he was able to find the original bikes and restore them, original make and models, and the others he built himself. He is a professional frame builder after all. So we'll have a separate video on that. What else do I got going? We got the rebuild on the Volare. We're gonna have a video, I think probably next week, of going to Elizabeth, Illinois to the Bicycle Museum. We're gonna drop a couple bikes off, and we're gonna see what he has new. So that should be a lot of fun. Now, I'm gonna give you a little hint, and I can't say a lot. I just got off the phone with the new owner of a bicycle company. That's really all I could say. It's a notable company if you're into vintage bikes. And he's a new owner of this bicycle company. And I just can't wait to make an announcement there. And it's gonna be its own video, and that could pop up anytime. We'll see, I have to coordinate with him. And just for fun, it's not like I'm sponsored or anything. I don't take sponsorships, that kind of thing. I just love this brand, and I can't wait to bring the news to the world. So, hey, thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. You gotta do that. Why? Because, I don't know. I don't monetize this channel. I just like it when people watch. So, thanks so much for watching. We'll catch you next video.